Okay, Bryony, I'm so happy that you're here, my love.
I'm so happy.
We have been so looking forward to this. I've been so looking forward to this for months, ever since we met in Spain. And I'm just elated that I get to share you with my audience and also share with your fans a whole new side of you. Like, we can just have a deep conversation, have people get to know more about you, maybe things that they don't already know about you. And I'm excited to dive in.
I'm so excited. Thank you for having me.
So Jenna, our amazing mutual friend, everybody who listened to this podcast knows Jenna Zoe.
Yes,
She told me, she's like, you're going to die when you do the session with Bryony. Your body will change instantly. She's like, you'll have abs instantly.
Oh.
And I was thinking, my own body, there's no way. I literally do. Like, I looked in the mirror, I feel stronger than I have in so long. And there's just something about this talent that you have. That's your calling.
That means so much. Thank you.
Yes.
And Jenna is amazing. So
she's amazing. Shout out to Jenna for this connection.
Her talent, many talents, but I feel like she's the best at bringing people together. Mm-hmm. Anytime she says to me, oh my gosh, you have to meet my friend, I just know that they're going to be one of my close friends. So
totally.
Yeah, it was exactly the same with us and Jonathan. I adore Jonathan and
Atticus loves you. I mean, how could he not?
So cute.
He's such a flirt.
Ibiza boyfriend.
He's your boyfriend. Like, he would see Bryony, you guys, and he would be like, like, I need to go to her. Like, it's the cutest thing. And when you see him again in a couple of days, and he's like 3 months older now, 4 months older, it's crazy.
So excited.
It's so crazy.
You guys are the best parents. And
thank you.
He's just the cutest baby. So,
thank you, my love.
Yeah, I loved our trip. I loved getting together, hanging out. And then when we went for our lunch and you said, come on my podcast.
Yes.
I was so excited.
I know. I could just envision it so perfectly because you have so much going on. I mean, you're the ultimate soul on fire guest, and you have truly created a life where you've set your soul on fire and change people's lives, inspire so many women and men across the globe. So just tell us a little bit about what you do. Give a little introduction.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. That's so sweet of you. So I am a Pilates teacher. I have an app now called Pilates by Bryony. Very original name.
The best app ever.
So yeah, I share my workouts on the app. So there's hundreds of workouts on there. And then I do a live class every week minimum. If there's a challenge, I'll do loads more lives. Like in January, I think I did about 11 live classes. So yes, my method is combining. I would say it's the best way to describe it is I've kind of created a method that combines the classical and the contemporary styles of Pilates. So I'm just so passionate about it. I discovered it through a car accident. I was just telling you in the lift actually, and it healed my body doing this method. So I'm so passionate about sharing it with everyone else, and so lucky now to be able to have the app, to have to be able to share it with such accessibility to so many people. So I just feel so lucky. And like you say, Soul on Fire, the name of this podcast is incredible, and it really means something to me because I feel like I'm finally in a place where I just feel like lit up. And I think that is having your soul on fire.
I think so too. And you can see it when somebody has their soul set on fire because they radiate from within. And it's so obvious that you love what you're doing. And I was telling you that when we were training. Well, I was just so impressed, by the way. Like, let's just talk about that for a second. We did a 30-minute Pilates session before I came here, before we came in. Yeah. And you're so hands-on. I mean, it was so comforting the way that you were like holding my feet down and you give these hands-on adjustments. And obviously through the app, people are not going to get that same hands-on experience, but you're such a professional. Like, you really know what you're doing. And I feel like this style of workout has taken off. It's become so popular and same with everything that becomes really popular. When people don't necessarily know what they're doing or a teacher gets out there, and I saw this a lot when I was a yoga teacher, it can give people like not the right experience per se. and you're a professional.
Thank
You're a
you.
real professional. So tell us the difference, because I don't even really know the difference between classical Pilates, contemporary Pilates, just for those of us who don't know.
Yeah, so classical Pilates is the original form created by Joseph Pilates. So it is a repertoire of movements, and he does it in a very structured way. So it's kind of like one thing to the next. You don't really move things around or change things. And obviously there's modifications, but there is a clear, what's the word? Repertoire. Yeah. So you kind of stick to his work, which is incredible. He's the most amazing man. And so classical is quite structured. It teaches you to really focus on the mind-body connection, the mind to muscle connection as well. Really strips everything back to basics and the original form of Pilates. Contemporary is kind of, I guess you could say, it's more about like the pulses and the burn and that type of style of class. So if you kind of maybe almost slightly more bar style as well. So yeah, just to give you an idea, if you're a classically trained teacher, it would take you, months of training and extra work on yourself, and then teaching and teaching online and things like that. Whereas contemporary, I think you could do like a weekend course.
Oh wow.
So yeah, both are amazing, but because I love the burn you get from the contemporary, so no one really kind of mixes the two. And the Pilates world can be a little bit snobby at times, like you don't do this and you don't do that.
Right.
So I kind of thought, well, why not? Like there is something to be said for both styles. So yeah,
I love
guess
that.
you kind of understand from yoga. So I just wanted to create something that people could really do from home and see incredible results. And like you just said, we did 30 minutes. 30 minutes is all you need. Like you really don't need to go to the gym for an hour every day to see results. I just am all about these short, sharp, effective workouts.
Mic drop with that, because who wants to be spending their time busting their ass in the gym but not seeing results? We were both talking about this. We both had our more heavier training days where I know my body was super puffy. I had such high cortisol. I was running marathons. I had cystic acne. The hormones were all off. Because I think a lot of women, and of course all women are different too, are really, we're more built to do this low intensity 100%. Workout. And so I think it's amazing that you decided to blend the two, even if it's not, what the Pilates world is thinking is like the original way to do it. But who cares? There's no rules with this kind of stuff.
100%. And like you say about the cortisol, I'm exactly the same. Like I used to do these crazy intense workouts every week. I had acne as well. I've suffered with acne most of my life. So yeah, I'm really pleased that there is a real trend on low impact workouts and awareness that these workouts can give you crazy results. And actually I think from the pandemic, that helped us realize that you can work out from home and get incredible results.
Yeah. So the timing with that was everything. Yeah. And I want to hear the timing of when your app came out. But first, I want to go back and hear what you were doing before you got into the Pilates world, before the car accident and all of that.
So, I mean, I say this on my Q&As, I'm like a jack of all trades.
Because you're a generator.
Oh, is that why?
I mean, Jenna could definitely speak to this more. But yeah, generators, you guys have so much self-generated energy. I feel like Jonathan is a literal jack of all trades, and he's a generator too. Yeah.
Okay, that's so interesting. So I grew, just to take it all the way back. You want me to take it all the way back?
Take it all the way back.
Okay. So I grew up in West Sussex in England. And out of school, I was obsessed with working. Like I always, as soon as I could get a job, you know, when I even remember selling like lemonade at my on my driveway. Like, I was obsessed by working. So as soon as I could get a job, I did. So I worked in a pub. I've worked in a Chinese restaurant. I've worked on a makeup counter, in a leisure centre. I've really done it all. And yeah, so then I had my car accident when I was 17. So I was on my own. A car came across me, swung across me, and I went into his passenger seat. And they had to kind of scoop me out of the car.
Oh my gosh.
I was in a neck brace taking tramadol, which is just so intense.
Tramadol is intense. I have a tramadol story. We can get into that later.
Yes, I want to hear it. It's so crazy. I mean, you know, obviously speak to your doctor and everything, but I would never go back there. It was intense for me. I lost loads of weight. I lost like 1.5 stones. I love food so much, and I couldn't eat. And then when I tried to come off tramadol, I actually developed insomnia. So I had the pain plus not sleeping. So I was just so agitated and depressed and everything. So I also then had to go on antidepressants. So I was just on this downward spiral, basically. Doctors then told me I needed to try Pilates. And
oh wow, I mean, kudos to those doctors, because that's not what most doctors would say.
I know, and it was years ago, obviously 13 years ago now. So a couple of doctors I saw said try Pilates, and it was more like a rehab type, not even it wasn't really seen as a workout then. I feel like Pilates, it was more kind of getting my strength back in my core. Anyway, I tried it, and it just changed my life, transformed my injuries, and I just basically healed myself through Pilates. And I thought, okay, this is amazing, this is my thing now. So I went from being in a neck brace in terrible pain every day to just having no pain whatsoever, and just feeling so aligned, so good in my body and in my mind. Like the mental benefits were incredible. As I said, I was on antidepressants, and then just felt like complete like weight lifted off my shoulders. So yeah, that was kind of like my entryway into Pilates. Then I did so many other jobs. I've worked in like offices. I've been a secretary. I've been a PA. I've worked for the New York Times. I did.
Really?
Yes.
What were you doing for them?
So I was the PA to the MD for the International New York Times. And
oh my God, what a cool job.
It was the best. Like, it was so much fun. The office was just like hilarious. So much banter. Every day I would be like crying, laughing. I loved it. And then I went into magazines. So I worked for Cosmopolitan magazine. I was the business manager there. So I was putting together the magazine with the editor. And then, I actually got into a relationship. So then I moved with this really amazing guy called Loris. I moved to Switzerland with him, and I lived in Switzerland for 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so then there was no fashion or anything cool in Switzerland at the time.
Yeah, Switzerland is like, what is life like in Switzerland?
So when you think Switzerland, maybe you think like Geneva or Zurich. I lived in Bern, which is so sweet, but so sleepy and cute and, you know. So that's when I started a swimwear brand. So then I had a swimwear brand, which was amazing and taught me so much. I've learned so many lessons now on how to build a business, what to do, what not to do, where to put your money and focus and energy, and learn a lot of expensive mistakes along the way. And yeah, just lived there for 3 years. And then we broke up. We're still friends. As I said, he's amazing. But I had nothing when we broke. So just to kind of set the scene, I was living this really nice life with him. He, was so sweet and generous. And then from one day to the next, pretty much, I had no money, no house, no car, I left my cats even with him.
Oh my God.
I just had really nothing. So I came back to London. I was on holiday when we broke up. So I literally had my suitcase that I had when we were on this holiday.
Oh my God. And when was this?
This was maybe like 3.5 years ago. So again, I was in a very, very dark place at that time, and just thought, okay, I need to figure something out. I need to build myself up and work and try and get an income, because I was broke basically. So then I had a corporate wellness company. Me and my friend decided to do like corporate wellness in an office and send like massage therapists.
Oh, cool.
And,
literally jack of all trades. Yeah. Like, I'm like learning so much about you. This is amazing.
I know, it's been such a random kind of story because I discovered Pilates, then I went and did all these other things, and then I've come back to it. So anyway, I did the swimwear brand, then I did the corporate wellness company, which was going really well. We had these really cool clients, sending lots of massage therapists, meditation, Pilates. So then this was kind of the route back. So then yoga and Pilates to offices. And I'm like, there is something in this online Pilates thing. So then I trained to become a teacher. And I then thought to myself, okay, I can be doing this. I can be teaching Pilates online. So I'm going to do my qualification and just see where it goes. So then the pandemic hit. All the offices closed. So I'm like thrilled. I'm thinking, okay, I'm independent again. The offices are thriving. And then the offices closed. So then I'm back to square one. No money, broke. Like no clients, nothing. So, but I've got my Pilates qualification and I'm loving it. So then I start getting back into Pilates. So again, Pilates somehow saved me and I just came back to it. And through lockdown, I feel like I'm like going off.
No, this is such an interesting story. This is what we want. This is amazing.
Good. If I'm like going on and on and on, just be like,
I would tell you, but this is what we love, like getting to know you in this way, even for your fans, like especially for your fans and the listeners of this podcast. This is such an inspiring story. Like, so now we're at what, 2.5 years ago, you were struggling. This is really super inspiring for people because once we get to where you are now, like,
I really want to get this message, and like doing this podcast with you, you're just so talented at interviewing people and getting out the stories, so it's really important to me and I'm so glad we can do this. But then so then I'm back to square one, feeling all the things. Then really suddenly I find out my mum has cancer. So then it just kind of like completely rocked my world. My mum is like my life. I'll probably cry in a minute. She is just like my everything. She's just the purest person in the world. And so she just told me, actually after she had the operation, she said, I have breast cancer.
Oh my God.
I know. And
so she had the operation and didn't say anything?
Because I had a holiday booked with my best friend and she was like, I'm not telling Bryony because she won't go on her holiday.
Such a selfless person.
I know. It's like such a mum thing.
Yes.
So I came back and she had the operation. So she was sat there, full hair and makeup, like with my dad. My mum and dad aren't together, but they're like besties. With so my dad. And she sat there like so glam and she's like, I have breast cancer, but everything's fine. Don't worry, everything's okay. And anyway, so obviously just really, really hard. So then in lockdown, me, my mum and dad actually moved in together, the three of us.
I love that because your parents aren't together. Like you just said, that's such a cute and amazing setup that you guys did that.
I feel so lucky that don't get me wrong, they have their moments. But I feel really lucky that they get on and they have that. And it's so much easier for me and my brother. So we all moved in together and I basically had terrible anxiety, because my mum was having chemo every week. Most people have it every month. She was having it every week. So your immune system is like on the floor. Then I was so paranoid about COVID, about her catching COVID, like beyond paranoia. So then I was living with her cooking. I was obsessed by like what she was putting in her body. So I was cooking her all the meals and like just, literally like spoon feeding her all this like healthy like concoctions that I had researched.
Now I'm gonna cry. This is like such a sweet story.
I know. She was literally, I treated her like a child. I was like, Mum, come on. I was like spoon feeding her. Like I'd done some research and I was making her chaga. Do you know chaga?
I do. Yeah, the mushroom.
Yeah. So I was making her like home, like fresh brewed chaga every day, and she absolutely hated it. She's like, no, not the chaga.
It's an intense flavor. It can be.
I know.
Yeah.
So, and I tried to like mask it with like cacao.
Right.
And stuff.
Yeah.
Like, still taste it. So anyway, and that was just a really intense time. Then I was struggling. So one weekend, so my mum has a flat in London, and then we all moved into where my dad was living in the countryside. So I said to my dad, please go and stay with Mum in London just for a weekend. Don't let her leave the house, but just go and stay there. I'm just having 2 days to myself. I was so depressed and anxious. And this is when I had like the turning point. I listened to a podcast from Jay Shetty.
I love him.
He's incredible. And I found it was something like the, what was it called? It was like a mental map or like a menu. He's talked about ingredients of your dream day, ingredients of things that make you feel good. So I was in my house, it's so dark, I had like all the curtains closed, in bed for like 2 days.
I totally get it.
I was like desperately like writing down things that might help me. So this is when I went all in on this morning routine. I had no reason to have a morning routine. I was in lockdown. I had nowhere to be, no one to see. But I woke up at 6 a.m. every single day. I did meditation, journaling, my workout. I had made a matcha, did a sauna, did an ice bath, like really went all in on my morning routine. And slowly, like each day, it was like I had this like dark cloud on me, and like bit by bit it was like fading off of me. And then I was like more strong to help my mom, and every day we were going on these 2-hour walks. She had so much energy, it was insane. She's like, amazing. Come on, Bryony, it's okay, come on, you know. Meanwhile, she's getting nosebleeds, she's like losing her eyebrows and lashes and all this stuff. Anyway, and I just would look at her on these walks and be so inspired. I would look at her and she just always had this smile on her face. I'm actually going to get emotional.
I know, it's so sweet.
She would have this like smile on her face and just so much energy for life.
Yes.
And sorry.
No, it's amazing.
And she just like, she said something to me. She's like, I never think why me, because I would never wish this on anyone else. She just really inspired me. She's
truly selfless. She sounds amazing.
So that changed my life. And then since that moment, I was like, right, okay, I'm going to do this. She just showed me this strength like I'd never seen before. Also, side note, she lost her mum while she had cancer through COVID.
Oh my God.
Her great aunt, like she had so much loss, but was so positive, so incredible. So I was like, right, okay, come on, Bryony, get your shit together. You can do this. And then I started teaching friends and things like that online on Zoom, like getting my confidence of my teaching, because I was so shy. This is the other thing I want to say.
Really? You're so outgoing from what I know of you.
Okay, I was a nervous wreck. When I had the swimwear company, I would do these breakfasts or these lunches, and I'd have to get up and say thank you to people for coming, and I'd be like,
I'm like that. I totally get it.
I cry at the thought of me standing up and being like, thank you guys.
It's very hard to do that sometimes. Yes, so I totally get it.
I had no confidence at all. And then now I just feel like nothing could be harder than seeing someone you love that much. I go
totally.
So it just gave me this superpower. It's really weird. I'm not scared of anything. Like I just went on this morning, which is kind of like a morning show, maybe like Good Morning America,
right?
And I felt not 1% nervous.
That's amazing. So oh my God,
given me this superpower from her being, I don't know if you've ever like experienced something like that, where you feel so scared and so sensitive, and everything is kind of just like happening before your eyes, and then all of a sudden you're like you come into your superpower.
Yeah. It's a wake-up call. It's a perspective shift. I've had a few.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm going to have another one soon. Because I told you, like, what I've been going through with anxiety. And I know something big is coming for me, a big perspective shift. But first I have to do what you did, which is like, you took the time. You took, you know, you did the 2 days alone with the curtains closed, planning what you needed. And then you actually took action on that. I need to do something like that and carve out that time. Definitely. And I'm so happy we're talking about it, because for the listeners, anybody can do that. Like, you felt so low, and I mean, to watch your mom be sick, like, I cannot even imagine. That would deteriorate me personally. Like, that's something that would absolutely derail me, because my mom is my rock. She's my life. And I know that you have that with your mom. And I remember when we were at dinner at Nobu in Spain, we were like showing each other pictures of our moms. I know that you're such a family person.
I really am.
And it's so inspiring. So then you started teaching Pilates to friends, getting your confidence.
Exactly. And doing it on Zoom and just practicing. And, you know, I was so shy. And then all of a sudden, I just felt really confident in it. I was like, okay, this is going well, and I think this is my thing. And then we came out of lockdown. I moved into so I took on this apartment, which I really couldn't afford, but I took a risk and moved to London. So moved out of living with my mum. She was getting loads better, which was amazing. And I moved into this apartment and started teaching group classes on Zoom. So I moved in the end of March. What year would that have been when we came out of COVID?
So 2021.
So I taught my first group class in May 21. So it's so recent. This is what I want to tell people. Like, you can change your life in a matter of months.
That's so amazing.
I really, I believe that. So, and as I said, I was like this nervous, shriveling, like, right. So if I can't even picture it. No, seriously, it was wild. Like, to look back at that girl that I was.
Yeah, I get it.
And then I taught my Zoom classes, and they were getting like a little bit busier. And then I remember in October, I was in Dubai, and I thought, okay, I have to plan a January challenge, and I have to make it so motivating. And, you know, January is the time where health and wellness is at the forefront of everyone's mind. So I was like, right, what am I going to do this January challenge? And honestly, like, the logistics, I can't describe to you how stressful it was because I didn't have an app. I just had Zoom, and I was like figuring out how to like film at record at the same time as the live, uploading it onto Vimeo. It was like, I was just a hot mess. And and then I did this January challenge, and I was thinking, okay, if I can just get 100 people. So I'd got up to 100 people on my Zoom classes by this point. So I thought, if I can get 100 people sign up to this challenge, it's going to change my life, you know, financially, and, you know, whatever. But my goal was 100. And then I got like 550 people.
Oh my God. Yes. What?
So this was January last year, so a year ago. And I was like, what the hell? This is so crazy. And I never expected all of that. And then it actually gives me like goosebumps talking about it.
Yeah, I have chills hearing
this. It's like, it changed my life, that whole thing. And then people were like really enjoying it and sharing it and being so sweet and supportive. And people were like, okay, I missed out on the January challenge. What's happening in February? What's the February challenge? I was thinking, shit.
Oh my God.
Well, I don't know. What is the February challenge? So I was like asking my friends, my family, what should I do? You know, I need to like keep this audience that I've got. I'm so lucky to have all these people, you know, following and everything. So then I did a February challenge, like a love Pilates thing. Then I did a March challenge.
Oh, wow.
Kept going. And then in March, I filmed. So I was like, I need to go online. I need to do an app. Actually, Kenzie, our other mutual friend, so who was also amazing. She was like, Bryony, you need to do an app. So then in March, I filmed like 50 classes and I was like, right, let's just do this. I'm going to town. I don't care.
That's amazing.
I'm not going to sleep. I'm just going to get through this month. It's going to be tough, but it's going to pay off. So I had this live video library, and then I launched the app last summer.
Oh my God.
So, and now it's just really changed my life, this whole thing. So if you think about it, it's been a year pretty much since I was doing the January challenge on Zoom, and like literally like entering manually all the email addresses of 550 people.
Oh my God.
And like more people were joining, and I literally put on my Instagram like, guys, it makes no sense to join now, like a week into the challenge, people were joining. I was like, guys, you've missed a week. I was trying to put people off because I was there like manually frantically. Anyway, so
that's so amazing.
That is the story in a very, very long-winded way.
It was the best story. I'm so happy we got the detail and the specifics, because I'm in awe. Like, I just learned so much about you that I didn't already know. And it's so inspiring. I'm so happy because I know that there's a lot of people listening who feel really lost about what they want to do next, or they don't feel confident, like they know what they love, but hard to feel confident to show up online and teach to over 500 people. But you did it. You figured it out. And I feel like it's because it's your calling.
Yes. And I really want people to know, like, I feel you. If you are, you know, that girl or guy that is doubting themselves, not having confidence, or don't realize their purpose yet, or whatever it is, I was that person a short time ago, and I get it, and you can turn it around very, very quickly. And I really believe that. I want you to know that you can change your life overnight. And
it's the power of the mind too. Like, I feel like you shifted your mindset, and you said that. I mean, you listened to the Jay Shetty podcast, and then your mom gave you that inspiration because you saw how strong she was in the face of so much challenge, and then your mindset shifted. And I'm such a believer, the power of the mind is everything. And actually, I was reading all these books to help me get this like inner power and inner strength, and I was listening to podcasts that helped me so much. Jay Shetty's incredible, Think Like a Monk, Atomic Habits, you know, all these different books. I was like diving deep because I had the time, and I was just desperate at the time. So yeah, I think there's so many tools now that you can kind of find your thing. And I also, what's great about today is that you can do so many things. Like you could be a podcaster, you could be, you know, you could also have a swimwear brand, or like you can change. Who cares? Don't let anything hold you back. If you want to go from working in an office, and then all of a sudden you want to have a yoga platform, or you want to, you know, start a fashion brand, just don't let anything hold you back, and just go for it. I agree. Just go for it. And who cares what other people think? I feel like so often when we get started doing something new, if it's like public facing, we worry what people might think or something, because like you don't have the audience yet, or you don't have the confidence yet. But it doesn't matter what other people think, like at all. What matters is that you're happy.
100%. And also, you know, why would you care about those people that are like having their comments or whatever? Who cares about those people? They're not your people. But I was there. I was thinking, oh my God, people are going to be so cringing out if I say I'm a Pilates teacher now. They'll be like, what? People that went to school with me. Oh, Bryony's a Pilates teacher now. Sorry, what?
Well, you went from working at the New York Times and Cosmopolitan, but being a Pilates teacher is awesome. Like that's such a cool career path, and especially, I mean, for anybody, but like also very cool that you've turned it into a huge platform. And that's not easy to do. No. And so that app came out this summer, and it's amazing.
Thank you.
It's incredible. I mean, ever since we met, I've been doing it, but then to do it in person, like changed everything today.
Oh, I'm so pleased.
Yeah.
I try and like really focus on the form, because I think it just changes everything. The whole, like the way, if you get into Pilates and you're so, you know, focused on the form and everything, your body's going to move in a completely different way. you'll also find when you're doing yoga, you'll apply things from the
Right.
Pilates, and you'll get more of an effective workout from your yoga session. Or, you know, if you're an athlete, if you're playing football, you know, you're probably going to have a lot less injuries. There's just so many benefits to Pilates.
There is. That's what I need. The way that you were helping me with the movements today. Because I feel like with me, I'm a very flexible person. And so I always lean into the flexibility versus the strength. And that's why when I was pregnant, sciatica was my worst enemy, because my ligaments just like opened right up and I didn't have the strength in my lower back or my glutes or anything. So
I can see that you're so flexible, and sometimes people that are hypermobile are so open and they're kind of going into the stretch, and sometimes actually what you need is to come back all the way into your center.
Right.
So I can see that you know, you're so flexible, and that's incredible. But then, as you say, it's caused issues during pregnancy and everything.
Totally.
So having that flexibility plus the deep core strength is like a match made in heaven.
I'm so excited to well, I'm excited to take so much away from this conversation, actually. I have a couple questions based off of what you said. Well, I know we were talking earlier and we were both like really inflamed when we were working out more. People who follow you know, I mean, you have like, you just have the strongest, most beautiful physique ever. And was that something that you had before Pilates, or did this just like absolutely tighten you up and change everything?
I'm actually gonna, now that we were talking about it earlier, I'm gonna try and find a picture, but I promise you my body has completely changed through
If you find a picture, we can put it into the video. We'll do like a little clip from the episode. I'm
gonna look. There definitely is one. My so when I lived in Switzerland, I had a trainer like 3 times a week, and then I would do an extra session on my own, and I would walk out of these sessions. I mean, the trainer was amazing, such a nice guy, but I would walk out of these sessions feeling like I was gonna throw up and like I couldn't walk. I would go to town, and my body was so inflamed. I had so much inflammation. I actually went and got my hormones tested, and my hormone doctor was like, the inflammation in your body is insane. I have arthritis as well, so I need to reduce my inflammation, not increase it. And my, since doing Pilates now and no other type of workout, I just recently went to my hormone doctor, and she was like, your inflammation is like very, very good, very low now.
Amazing.
So yeah, it really changed my body on an inflammation level, but also kind of physically in appearance and results completely changed. Like definitely I like lengthened, and I feel my most comfortable and confident in my own body now, for sure.
Such a good feeling.
Like you were saying earlier, when you're doing those workouts, it's so much fun, but it's, you know, sometimes it's not right for you. And I think, and I know it sounds like I am pushing Pilates, but Pilates might not be your thing. I'm just passionate about people finding a form of movement that works for them, whether it's Barry's or yoga or running or Pilates, whatever it is. If it works for you, just stick with that thing, because it is just movement every day is just so key, whether it's 10 minutes, 45, whatever.
Yeah, for your physical health, for mental health. Yeah. It's so amazing, and it feels so good.
For you, we were talking earlier about anxiety and everything, and I think sometimes it helps to get out of your head and into your body. So hopefully you felt a little bit.
It helped me so much. I couldn't even believe it, because I had to think so much about the coordination of the movements that I was like, I literally can't think about anything else, which was very healthy for me. Let me tell you, I needed that. And then another question I had, when you decided to start waking up at 6 a.m. and doing all that, have you always been a morning person, or was that like easy for you to do or hard?
I would say I don't find the mornings hard, but 6 a.m. was quite a thing for me at the time. Now I leap out of bed the mornings.
Wow.
Yeah, I love the mornings.
And how early do you go to bed?
So I go to bed probably like 10.
Okay. 10. That's good.
But I mean, I also love a night out. I love going out. So I can do I can do like a really late night and going dancing and, you know, having fun with my friends, but I'll still wake up and do my things.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I think like also for you as a mum, like having your time, but it doesn't have to be 6 a.m. by the way. It's just, you know, that was what worked for me and what I needed at the time. But having that time for you before you do anything else, I think changes your life.
Yeah. No, it does. It really does. Yeah, that's so inspiring. I love that story. Wow.
I'm so, like, this just feels so good. It's
it
so
does.
nice talking to you.
I know. I want to ask you some of the questions that I ask everyone who comes on.
Yeah,
so we'll tell everybody your sun sign. We're going to look up your moon and your rising later today because we got to know. Okay. But you are?
A Gemini.
Yes. And you're such a Gemini.
Am I?
Yeah. Okay. You are. Well, Geminis are amazing communicators. The talking sign, I mean, like, you're really good at expressing yourself and guiding others. We're both air signs, so we have that in common. And I see that in you for sure. And then Geminis can get a lot done. Like, I feel like a generator, which you also are. Gemini can get a lot done because there's like a multifaceted element of Geminis where there's kind of like the dual personality.
Okay.
Do you feel that within being a Gemini?
I do. And Jenna's taught me so much about this stuff and it's actually helped me. I don't know if you find this, but it's really helped me knowing my human design. It's almost just that awareness, kind of, you accept yourself more. I don't know if you find that. But,
definitely.
Yeah, I really understand myself more and my needs and what's going to help me be my best self. So, I do find, like, Jenna always says to me, she's like, well, of course it's, because I said to her yesterday, oh, you know, it's only 12 and I've done this and this and this because I've just arrived in LA, so I'm so excited. She's like, well, of course you have.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I love about Jenna, and I feel like we're so lucky to have Jenna as like a best friend in our lives because so Jenna is so wise, not just when it comes to human design, but also astrology and all forms of living, really, and spirituality. And she just gets people. And so, like, she would say, I could just see her saying that. Like, of course, you've done so much. And I said the same to you this morning when I came in for Pilates, and, like, that's, like, my morning. Like, it was still the morning to me. Yeah. And you're like, we did heated room yoga. Yes. Like, you're already, you know, like, showered and dressed and all this stuff. I'm like, are you not jet lagged? Like, when I travel to a different country, I need some time. Yeah. But you're excited to be here and, like, you found the joy in your life. I think that's what it is. And that gives you energy too. Yeah. So
definitely.
I love that.
Yeah. And shout out to Jenna. She really
I know.
is
Jenna, we freaking love you. And next time we'll do the three of us. I know, right? We wouldn't have met if it weren't for Jenna. Maybe we would have. Like, I was following you because of Jenna, but, you know, I would have found you anyway because you've blown up. So that's amazing. Thank you. If you could be in a room with 3 people, living or dead, who would they be?
Oh my God. I should have prepared this.
I know, just top of mind, like, whoever comes to your mind.
Who would I be if I could be in a room? Okay. Well, just kind of what's coming to me now. Jay Shetty. I'm super inspired by Lauren Bostick at the moment and Michael Bostick. But let's count them as one.
Yeah. The couple. Exactly.
Yes. And then the third one. That's such a hard question. I should have prepared this.
Yeah, you're doing amazing.
Have I, like, said to you lately? Just asking, yes.
Is there, like, a celebrity or even a family member? You know, you're so close with your niece. Sometimes people say that. They're like, my niece, my daughter, like, you know, something like that.
What, just to hang out with people?
Yeah, just to, like, bring them together in a room.
Lauren Bostick, Jay Shetty. Oh, I'm really into Ed Milet at the moment. That would be a good room.
That would be an epic room. Yeah. I think anybody would leave that room transformed.
Yes.
And inspired.
You would be so uplifted, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
You're also reading.
Yeah, The Power of One More. So good.
So good.
Yeah. First of all, I can easily see you meeting all of those people in the next few years. Like, I feel like you're going to be on those podcasts. You're going to meet those people. I totally see it.
Oh my God.
Like, easily.
Oh, I hope so. That
Yeah.
means so much coming
Yeah.
from
I really see it.
you. Thank you. Who would you choose?
I know it's a really good question. I go more toward people who have like died, just because it's like Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
I've seen that I've had past lives like Marilyn Monroe type of vibes. So I want to meet her for many reasons. Honestly, Tyler Henry, the Hollywood medium.
Oh,
I'm obsessed with him.
He is incredible.
Like, obsessed with him. And he's at the top of my list right now.
You need to get him on the podcast.
I know. I've tried. If anybody who's listening knows him, please let me know. I know. I've emailed him so many times. I'm like, the Long Island medium was on. Like, I swear this is a good fit.
Me again.
Yeah, exactly. Me again. One day I'll get noticed.
Definitely.
And then, do you know Esther Hicks? Like Abraham Hicks, the channel. I would really love to meet her. She channels like Abraham Hicks, which is a fifth dimensional entity. I was gonna go to her workshop. She was in LA the other week, and it's like my dream to meet her in person. But it was like an all-day workshop, and then when you're a mom, and it was a Saturday, and it was like kind of far away, and then I had to choose, like, do I not see Atticus all Saturday when I didn't really see him during the week? So I didn't go, but dying to meet her, so she'd be on my list. But I love your list. Your list I would add to my list too. What's your advice for the listeners who are looking to set their soul on fire?
My advice, I mean, I could just go off on this and say so many things. I would say, don't let anything hold you back. If you feel something, want to do something, if you really feel lit up and energized by doing that one thing, just go all the way. Just go for it. Don't let anyone's opinion hold you back, or any self-doubt. Just really, really go for it. And in that one thing that I just said, I'm just going to add to it, the thing that helped me trust my gut was meditation and journaling. So if you can start meditating and having those moments to yourself every day, it's going to help you with your confidence, your purpose. It's going to change your life.
I love that. What type of meditation do you like to do?
I like loads of different types of meditation, actually. So I've done loads of Joe Dispenza. I've done Mimi Bouchard. She's amazing as well. I actually have her on the app. She's doing some meditation.
That's so great.
I've never done is it TM?
TM.
I've not tried that. Also, sometimes just sitting there in silence with my own thoughts. I don't always do guided. Breath work as well, I love.
Yes.
So yeah, I just love anything kind of like that. And then journaling, I'm obsessed by journaling.
Me too.
It is just so powerful, and it's so underrated.
I know. People really underestimate it. It's everything.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It just feels so therapeutic. And also to go back, like I've read some of my journals from like a year ago being like, thank you. I like say thank you to different things. And it's like, thank you for 10 people joining my class today. And
wow.
When you look
and you
back
see how far you've come.
Okay, it gives you it spurs you on. So I think I definitely keep all of my. Some people like to just shut them away and not. What about you?
I keep them all. So I've been keeping a detailed journal since I was about 7.
Oh,
I'm like crazy, but I've always been a writer type. So
that's amazing.
I read my journals from the time I was 7. I have some hilarious. I've like taken pictures of what I've written because it's so funny when you're that young. Like I wrote about the day Michael Jordan retired. I acted like as if I cared so much, even though, I mean, I was like, first of all, I wrote in there like I was named after him, so this means like a lot to me, although I wasn't named after him. Like I think when you're young like that, you just choose to write the funniest things. And I wrote like, I'm so upset today because Michael Jordan retired. And so many other things, but I would write about my friends, my family, my nanny, list things out. But then like the journal that I kept in high school and stuff, it's so cool to look at, to have memories of like I would write about what I did that day, who I was with. there's something very powerful.
There is, for sure. And seeing that shift, and also it gives you that belief, doesn't it? Because you're like, well, at one point I was thinking this way and I had so much self-doubt and was struggling, and now like I can really, go for it. So I think it helps to look back.
It does. It really does.
Yeah.
And then it helps you look forward too, like with the visions that you have for the future.
Yeah, I love doing that. And especially if I'm flying, that is like I was telling Yaz yesterday, she flew in yesterday, and I said, make sure you take your journal. It's the best thing. Writing on a plane, you just feel so calm and at peace. And I can just like the 10-hour flight here, or however long it was just like that.
That's amazing. Yeah, because there's no interruptions. I love when a flight doesn't have Wi-Fi. Like sometimes in the moment it feels annoying and stressful, and like if you want to be in touch with people, you can't. But once you surrender and you're like, I'm free, I'm up in the clouds, I actually like can't communicate or do work or anything. I think it's so freeing.
Yeah, no one can reach you. Like, how often do you have times like that?
Yeah, like, never. My literary agent would always joke, I wrote my whole first book on planes because that was the only time, really, that I could like just bang it out and have no distractions. So maybe I need to do that again because now I need to not be distracted.
You, by the way, you're so inspiring to me.
Thank you.
And I was thinking about this as we're talking, like having expanders is just a real helpful thing, I think. And you are one of those for me, for sure.
Thank you.
And Jenna, for sure.
You're one of those for me too. Absolutely.
Thank you.
I love that. And Jenna is as well. Jenna is so special.
I feel so lucky to be around people that just really lift you up, inspire you. So yeah, that would be another piece of advice. Like be around the people where you feel your best.
Absolutely.
The most positive energy and really inspired and motivated, and you just feel like, you're this little team and you're all like rooting for each other. So yeah.
Life-changing.
Definitely.
Amazing. And tell everybody where they can find you.
So you can find me on Instagram. It's at Bryony Deery. And the app is Pilates by Bryony on the App Store. And we also have a website, pilatesbybryony.com. And yeah, that's me.
You guys have to check it out. These Pilates workouts will change your life. And also just following you is so fun. Like you post lifestyle things, you post food, Q&As. We mutually love like the spirulina smoothies and stuff. I know. All the good stuff. I know. Well, we had the best ones in Ibiza. Yeah, I know. I will. There's a lot of good places around here. Yes. Yay. Well, I love you. Beautiful. Thank you so much. This was so special.
For having me.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. We love you guys. Love you.